Studios live. It's just a minute past 9 o'clock. You're listening to Smooth 98.1 FM Lagos. And this is Smooth Breakfast with Folu and myself, Valentine. Today's Lagos Talks 981 is a special, and we're looking at the environment today. I'll have a special guest, a special advisor to the governor on Cleaner Lagos Initiative. His name is Mr. Adebola Shabi. Good
Good
morning.
morning,
Yeah,
sir.
good morning.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you much.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone at home.
Welcome.
There you go. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We're very excited to talk to you about issues regarding waste management for a cleaner Lagos and looking at sort of the battle against inefficiency. And now, Lagos, just so that you remember, Lagos Talks is open to the general public, so we expect you to call us up to ask your questions, and really not just for us, for our special advisor in the studio as well. The number to dial is 014489981. You can also send in your messages to us on WhatsApp. That number is 0809 4440981. But to kick off the conversation, Mr. Shabi, I'm going to ask very simply about the Cleaner Lagos Initiative, trying to understand its role, its purpose, and its objectives, so that our general listening public can understand.
Yes, Cleaner Lagos Initiative is the initiative of His Excellency Governor Akinwumi Ambode, and looking at the best approach to waste management in Lagos. In order to ensure a clean environment for Lagosians and also to protect our immediate environment, the public health, and the social living of Lagosians. That was why the issue of the Cleaner Lagos Initiative came on board since 2015.
Okay.
You know, the way we've been managing our waste in the past, waste management, it has different, about 5 or 6 chains.
Okay.
From waste generation, waste storage, transportation, waste processing, and the waste disposal. But people will just think, generate your waste and take out. No, your waste must go through process. In Lagos today, we generate over 20,000 tons of waste on daily basis.
Wow.
That's about 20 metric tons on daily basis.
Yeah.
And definitely, this 20,000 must not get to the landfill
Okay.
because they must be processed to recover the reusables and the recyclables.
Okay.
That is why we have transfer loading stations, which used to be called in the past transit processing centers, where you have the material recovery equipment there that will segregate the reusables and the recyclables. So what I mean by that is the reusables, like the aluminiums and so on and so forth, can be used by the iron industries.
Yeah.
The recyclables, what you consider as waste to you, are resource to other people that can be turned to other products. So out of this 20,000 and some other compost waste and some biodegradable waste do not get to the landfill. The compost and the other ones get to the other people making use them as animal feeds or fertilizers. So the biodegradable one can be used for generating electricity too. So only few of this volume of waste get to the landfill. But what we have today in Lagos, a landfill, not the proper engineered sanitary landfill, where the leachate and the gases are being
Collected,
controlled. So, in the past we have this the landfill at Olusoso,
Okay.
and the other one Solos and the Ewelepe in Korodo. But the best international practices, there's no way you can find a landfill on the highway or in the city or closer to any airport or where people live or
Yes.
medical facilities.
Yes.
But the one we have today in Lagos, in the city, a few meters away from the airport, the one at Solos, the next building is Igodo General Hospital. So this constitutes a lot of environmental degradation and public health alert because of the gases escaping from the waste and the gas and the leachate percolating down to the affecting the underground water, and also when the leachate washes into the lagoon, it affects the living organisms in the lagoon there. Wow. So these are the reasons why His Excellency said we must come up with the best approach for our waste management in Lagos. And we have a company in Lagos today called Visionscape, who is constructing 3 engineered sanitary landfill for us in Lagos. 2 are going to be in the one in Badagry, where the leachate will be collected. There will be a membrane that will collect the leachate, and the leachate will be channeled to a treatment plant where it will be treated. And what comes out of it is a water that you can drink.
Oh, interesting.
Can be reused.
Okay.
You understand? And the gases captured can be combusted to energy. You see, in Lagos State, we have what it takes for us to generate electricity for Lagosians. But we have not been doing that. We have been depending on the federal grid.
All right, so you're talking about using this as biofuel, essentially.
Yes, definitely. We have what it takes, but we've not been using it. Okay. We've not been using the opportunity, or we've not been using what God has given to us. We have been given the opportunity, but we are not using it. Okay. So His Excellency being a proactive gentleman now says, listen, why must we be considering things as waste when we can make things out of all this? That is the reason why he came up with the issue of the Cleaner Lagos initiative.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Mr. Shabi. So I think you pointed out and highlighted quite a few areas that through the next 30 minutes or so we're sort of going to go into. And we've already got calls, so in fact, let me just wait for callers to just add their opinion. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Lagos Talks 981. Who are we speaking with, please?
My name is Kayode.
Kayode, please go ahead. What questions do you have? Yes. Manual transportation, yes. Yes, which is the processing and disposal. Okay. All right, let's give Mr. Shabi the opportunity to respond for time reasons. So you really need to summarize right now so that he can respond. Thank you.
Say this that I've been to virtually all the radio stations sensitizing Lagosians, and I've been to all the TV stations too. And we've been going around all the local government in the state, and we'll be asking all the chairmen to invite the stakeholders. So we've been doing a lot of advocacy, and advocacy is a continuous exercise. On the issue of where it said a system should be improved on, we are working together with the PSP operators now. You understand what I'm saying?
Is that a new development?
Definitely we're working together, and definitely, when you try to bring a new thing to have a change, there must be some challenges, right? We're going through some challenges, and we're definitely going to overcome this in few days' time, right? Secondly, on the issue of where the garbage bins were being taken away, yes, Lagosians thought at the beginning that the garbage bins provided on the medians and the highways were for them to be bringing their waste from homes. No, they were meant for the people passing in the areas, so that when you eat gala, you take some pure water, or you have the bottled water, you can dump your waste there. But people thought, oh no, there's an avenue for us to bring our waste from the inner streets down there, and it never worked, and we took off all this the garbage bins out there.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we are going to have to take a very quick break. When we come back, we're taking more of your calls. We are addressing the issue of waste management for a cleaner Lagos, looking at the Cleaner Lagos initiative, and we're talking to Mr. Adebola Shabi, who is the special advisor to the governor on this initiative. We will be taking more of your calls right after this break.
Better than the best, smoothest.
Okay. I think the general questions you're going to get on the concern really does come down to the collection, because I think you've explained very well what the tippers were supposed to do, which is for people passing in the medians, but people are still concerned with the amount of rubbish that they still visibly see on the roads now. And so I think Kaide's question, and I'm sure that's what you're going to get more people retracing.
But we're working on that area to ensure that the compactors get to the inner streets. But the problem, like I said, we have shut down Olusosun about 2 months or 3 months ago now, due to the apart from the fire that happened there. His Excellency said, no, we cannot have this on the highway. And he said it. So because of the distance the trucks will be going through, some of them are so lazy, they don't want to go that far. You understand? And some of them are not actually really working now. So what we are trying to do is to provide more transfer loading stations, so that their turnaround will be so faster.
Okay.
So that is what we're working on now, because definitely every day we come up with new strategy.
Okay.
And one of the strategies is to create more transfer loading stations. So you definitely have to be improving on it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing on a regular basis now.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, back in about 40 seconds.
Anyone who's 45 years and above, get the Insure Motor insurance today, and all your motor claims are paid in full. No deduction. You will also enjoy 50% cashback for no claims after 24 months and lots more. Visit insure.com.insure.
Right.
Music to me, touch of soul, jazz, rhythm and blues, gospel. Music is the antidote for that crazy day. Music is life. Music is outspoken. Music is smooth.
On Lagos Talks 981, and it is a special here in Smooth Breakfast with Fulu and myself, Valentine. We have a special guest, the special advisor to the governor on Cleaner Lagos Initiative. He's here to sensitize us on their strides and the challenges they've been facing since the initiative was put in place.
Indeed. Just before the break, we had a caller, Kaide, calling to ask questions around really the collection and the transportation of the waste, not really going into the disposal and processing, and also asking questions with regards to sensitization. Mr. Shabi has been responding to that. I'm going to read out at least one of the messages as well that we have up on WhatsApp, so that it can allow you the opportunity, sir, to carry on just sort of enlightening us as to what exactly Lagos is doing to ensure that we have a cleaner and a safer environment. Now, JJ from Machine sends in this one saying, welcome, Special Advisor. We have been waiting for your visit. I heard what you had to say, and the second most populated local government area in Lagos. And you should not even get wise Loma when you know that Visionscape was not quite ready to take over. Now, I'm sure that Loma has experience over the years. Was that transfer of knowledge? Please, where can we go to for information on this environmental plan of Lagos so that we can follow along? Now, please, sir, this transition period is taking very long, and the whole idea of Lagos is being lost, especially in Mushin. A very key questions I think a lot of our listeners have had over the weeks.
Mushin is a very crucial area for us in the issue of the Cleaner Lagos Initiative. Mushin, Alimosho, and Ajeromi Felodo.
Okay.
They generate a lot of waste in those areas, and we've been coming up with different strategies to ensure that we get into the inner streets of these areas. But people also should have this attitude. we've been providing them with garbage bags. Bag your waste and put in front of your house. But you see, where you see a lot of littered waste is where you have the scavengers going around with sticks or metal to tear the garbage bags and start looking for what they can sell. You understand? And we've been telling the CDAs and the CDC, please don't allow these people to come to your areas, because the government cannot come down there. The Alausa people cannot come. It is you, the community leaders, that will ensure that your area is clean. You understand?
Yeah.
And you have to ensure that these people, when they generate their waste, put in front of the house in that bag. Not that you have your littered waste around the areas. It's not good for it's not good for your health. Because when the rodents feed on this and they get into your houses and do all sort of things, this is one of the causes of the Lassa fever.
That's right.
God forbid we get Lassa fever in Lagos. So we always go around to sensitize people on these aspects. Secondly, the gentleman asked the question on the issue of Loma. Loma exists. Is a regulatory agency now.
Okay.
Because in the past, Loma was doing everything. Loma was the defense attorney. Loma was the prosecutor. Loma was the judge. So there was no way we could get the right thing done. So now Loma is going to be the regulator to judge.
So they're not completely phased out.
No, Loma is still there, and they have 70% of the staff there. The other staff have been taken back to the mainstream, Ministry of Environment or the local government. So these are the things that we restructured Loma. But the PSP operators, we still have them. We're not taking job away from anybody. We are working with the association to fine-tune the best way to have waste management in Lagos, especially waste collection. You see, don't let us confuse the waste management and the waste collection. Collection is different from waste disposal and the management of that waste.
I think, but most of the complaints and the issues are with the collection of the management.
Yes,
and when you talk about
the collection is the responsibility of the operators, and the disposal and management is the responsibility of the government. And the government has contracted that disposal and the management to Visionscape.
Okay.
All right, let's take some more calls. I think there are a lot of questions coming in. Oh no, let's see if we can try another line. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, sir.
Okay, can I go ahead?
I mean, it's very commendable. There's now little of life, for the people, and those who regarding the waste collection aspect of the management, you introduced the cost of your introduction. You told us that
You're breaking up a little bit, so you need to slow down and please speak a little clearer. So please repeat that part of your statement or question.
Okay. Now, what I just said, right, when you introduced the topic to us this morning, you told us that the bulk of the waste in the city is collected from our homes. Now, and I would like to know, Adam, is there a way the new system can ensure that households play a significant role in the waste collection and management process? What I'm trying to say is that at our homes, is it possible to have, collecting bins that are clearly demarcated?
Yes.
Those that are for recycled,
Sorting from source. Yes.
Set aside directly from the home.
Yeah.
An exercise that needs to be done somewhere at a center or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Because most modern cities have already gone that route. So some people, before you dispose your waste, there are sachets, there are plastics, these things are clearly demarcated, and then the individual just drop them accordingly.
Okay.
So that's the ease of collection eventually.
All right.
In that direction now. That's my own question.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Yeah, thank you. You see, we are coming up with that in some organized estates and organized areas in the state now. We're going to be providing about 3 or 4 garbage bins. There will be marked plastics, your glass, your cardboard, some paper, and your kitchen waste separately. So the plastics will be evacuated or collected by the recyclers, the glasses, and also the cardboards. So what now remains is your kitchen waste, which you can also, we're going to encourage people to start using that too to compost, where you can do fertilizer for your gardens and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, you're not going to get any waste out of your area. Are you getting what I'm saying now? We're coming out with that program in organized estates and organized areas in the state.
Now, Mr. Shabi, can I just go back, because I still feel as though there's a space in which we haven't really gone into a lot of detail when it comes to sensitization. Now, I do understand that you have been going to places and you have been talking, but when we look, especially we comparatively analyze how we work here to everywhere else in the world, like you said, the sensitization needs to be continuous and it needs to be vast. Simple things like getting off a train, you continuously have reminders in certain places saying, mind the gap, mind the gap. It should be common sense, right? Not to put your foot inside the gap. But again, it's an education of the masses. And that's the concern here. Do the masses really understand the correlation and the importance of not ripping apart garbage bags? And what is the government doing to sensitize on a mass scale versus just talking to community leaders? Because if you want to involve the community on a mass level, if you want areas like Mushin, Alimosha, and these places to be aware and to take ownership and responsibility of how waste is being collected and dealt with from the beginning, there needs to be a massive educational drive for such a thing. And it doesn't feel to the average Lagosian, at least to me, I don't know about anybody else, that is happening.
Thank you. You see, when I talk about the advocacy, we're not talking to only the community leaders.
Okay.
The market women, the religious leaders, the traditional rulers too, the ballers, the KBCs, everybody will be invited. We talk, and we've been doing a lot of jingles on the radio too. I don't want to do any advert for anyone here. We have about 6 radio stations. We have jingles on. Morning, afternoon, evening, on how you bag your waste. You don't dump your waste in the public drainages or in the canals or anything like that. You understand? So we've been going around to sensitize and doing a lot of jingles. But I will advise one thing to Lagosians today. Please let us listen to our local radios and local television stations. You see, we are fond of going on the cable, not even watching our LTV or channels or anything like that. No, we are fond of going on watching CNN, Sky News.
Well, I mean, should that be the problem, really? If it's not getting the desired result, desired effect on the masses, like Fulu asked earlier, what other methods would you think?
You see, the other method we're looking at is now going through, like I was discussing with my team some few days ago, like let's try maybe doing some dramas, going through the primary schools and so on and so forth.
Things that would be useful at bus stops if we have such
bus
things.
Stops or
at petrol stations we have such
we've
things.
been doing that at bus stops. But as you said now, petrol stations, some gas stations, we'll be doing that now.
Okay.
We want to fill that gap to ensure that everyone understands what cleaner Lagos is all about.
Okay, so let's go back to the phone lines.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right,
Welcome,
so
Sociable. Go ahead.
very briefly.
Yeah.
Are you the same Shabi of
La Sepa, yes.
Yes, okay. Now, I want to compare when you were in La Sepa as the general manager on that particular and this moment of environmental change to an extent. When we were under Loma and this new level, that was
Okay.
And another one is, what is your plan about this job? Because you have mentioned other places and we have not seen anybody.
All right, thank
No,
you.
it's
Sociable.
Jedodo and the other local government there. I will tell you that, you see, government is a continual. Yeah, so we in La Sepa. I was in La Sepa. I'm here now. I'm enjoying what I'm doing here in cleaner Lagos, even better than what I was doing in La Sepa. You understand? So when I live here too, I will even enjoy more the next appointment. You understand what I'm saying? But now we want to ensure that Lagos is clean. That is my own target, and that is the vision of His Excellency Governor Akinwumi Ambode. It doesn't sleep. What it does every day is, what are the strategies you have to ensure that we have a clean and healthy environment? You understand?
Yeah.
So these are the things that we preoccupy ourselves with today.
Thank you very much. You've spoken very well, Adebola Shabi, Special Advisor to the Government Cleaner Lagos Initiative, about the strides you've achieved so far. But we'll look at, when we come back after this break, we'll look at your relationship with Visionscape and see how many things really need to be done. And you just answer a few more questions on our phone lines.
Love life.
It just feels good.
Yep, lots more questions.
You
Let's
see,
see.
Ijedodo, I think that is in the Jegun area. That's under another local government that you see, they are highly populated areas. And you see, people, I will tell you something. When you talk of the waste generation, you relate it to population growth.
Yes.
On daily basis, average of over 800 people migrate to Lagos, and they don't leave. About 40,000 in a year. So they come without the mentality from their various areas down to Lagos. The way they've been doing things in the area. So for you now to say, Mr. X and Y Z from, let me just name a state, Osun State, that they have been used to gathering their wastes and dumping the drains. You understand? They come to Lagos with that mindset. It's the same thing they want to continue doing. So these are the people that I will strongly tell you we've been having serious problems with. Secondly, people that work in Lagos and live in Ogun State. The waste management in Ogun State is so, they are not so conscious about their environment. You understand?
Yeah.
So these people will bring their waste from those areas. They look left and right. When they don't see no one,
They'll throw it out. I have 10 seconds.
Okay, we're back in
studio. You're listening to Lagos Talks 981, and this is a special. We're talking about Cleaner Lagos, and a special advisor to the governor on that initiative is in here, Adebola Shabi.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much again for joining us, sir. As you have noticed, there are quite a lot of calls and messages coming in. We've got about 10 minutes left for this particular segment of the show, so let's carry on with the WhatsApp messages. Ife sends in a message saying that no amount of waste managers will be too much for Lagos. The government should have left Loma to work with Visionscape, but in different roles so as to achieve the same goal. Ife, I don't know if you were listening, that's a little bit what I believe Mr. Shabi was explaining, that Loma have moved into a regulatory space. So I guess if you want to ask how effective are Loma as regulators at the moment, perhaps that's what you're asking, and maybe Mr. Shabi can address that in a bit. But there's still more messages coming in. Up on our YouTube platform, we have Caramel LL, who says, Mr. Shabi, you've spoken about bagging waste and wheelie bins, but these wastes are not being collected and are leading to rodent infestations. And Visionscape have come to my area just once since last year. Waste is being stockpiled. The PSPs come once a month and we have to pay them cash because they say that Visionscape isn't paying them yet. Now, if waste gets so much and it isn't being picked up, you have to eventually pay scavengers to pick it up. Now, the better is that's the better option than having heaps of bagged waste in front of my house, says Caramel LL on YouTube.
Yeah, let me correct the first one. Okay. Loma has not been scrapped. Loma is a regulatory body now, and also working together with Visionscape and the PSP operators. So Loma still has over 45 trucks, compactors, that are working every day, morning and night in the state. So we are all working together, Visionscape, Loma, PSP operators. We're all working together. But I mentioned something while we were on break.
Okay.
When you talk about waste generation, you relate it to population growth. You understand? And the population growth, the rate at which Lagos population growth is about 9% annually. Over 40,000 migrate to Lagos on annual basis, right? And these people, when they come down to Lagos, right, the where they were coming from, the way they've been doing their waste, they come into Lagos with that mindset.
Okay.
Some people believe that in the old those areas, when they generate their waste back and put in the drainage and or the canal, so they come to Lagos with those mindset. Secondly, people that work in Lagos and live in Ogun State, they bring their waste every morning. Instead of looking for garbage bins where to dump this, they look left, right. When they don't sense anyone, they dump on the median. And these scavengers go around with their sticks and so on and
Tearing
so forth.
open the bags.
Yes, you see, but we have been working on local policing now to start manning all the identified black spots in the state. So at the beginning, I told you, every day we improve on our strategies. And in the next few days now, you're going to be seeing the local policing working 24 hours. And anyone caught will be prosecuted. Because we've done a lot of advocacy, sensitization to let people know you cannot bring your waste from the inner streets to the major streets.
We're talking about inner streets. Well said. Thank you very much for that, addressing that. But also look at the major roads. We find, like the Expressway, you find that buses ply that route. And you find that most of the time, like you said, they look left and right, they see nobody, they actually throw it on the road. Are there measures put in place that you're thinking about? Maybe you've conceptualized and you want to, make sure that this is enforced to get those people prosecuted in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, definitely. As I said to you, we're definitely going to have our the local policing team around the areas, right? So I'm not going to tell you where we're going to put them, right? So when you are caught, definitely they're going to tell you to court. And we have been all asking now that they should be giving community service. You'll be given a bag to start picking waste all around that area, and you'll be put on the social media. So this will be a lesson to others.
Okay.
You understand? We want to encourage that community service where people will know, yes, I've done something wrong and I have to clean up the area. That's it.
All right, let's take more calls. Let what Mr. Shabi has said be a reminder to all of us that we are actually responsible and we form a part of the community. So we as a community must police. If we see people dumping things on the road, remember to tell them not to do it, especially if it's near your home. It is your health, after all, that is at risk. Going back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Lagos Talks 981.
Yes, good
morning.
We can hardly hear you. Can you come closer to your phone?
Yes. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
Faid. Sheriff, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from
All right. What's your question?
Yeah, I'm just mostly at the side of the government. And I was going to ask a question. What out of this, how long ago, the strategic government has done, how updated are they? Because some people are thinking about people can use ways to feed people. That the last time I checked, I saw that South Africa have started developing bioland, for migrants to feed chickens.
All right.
However, you still have people coming to say that food use waste for basic energy generation, gas addition, global warming at the end of the day. So I also find out what's the best approach. And secondly, what provision is government making for PSP? Because there seems to be some people who face PSP now. And that's why you find that PSP is not effective as they used to be.
Okay, Sherry. Thank you very much.
People are coming to make it. For example, I have PSP personnel in my neighborhood after that. You can't send people in the next last 5 months. So that they will reconcile it. However, the last 6 months, services have been very, very poor.
All right, Sharif, no, we can't allow you to continue, Sharif, just because for time reasons. Okay, so let's allow Mr. Shabi to just answer.
What you said on the issue of the our waste being turned to energy. You see, it is part of the components of the Cleaner Lagos initiative.
Yeah.
So His Excellency wants us to look around, because we have been talking about waste. What does waste mean? What you consider you are not using anymore and is useful to others. The waste we're talking about can be turned to energy, right? Secondly, you talk about the issue of the global warming. I mentioned something at the beginning.
Yes.
That what we have in Lagos today is the issue of the landfill, where the gases escape. And what are these gases? Methane gas, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide contribute about 55% to the issue of the global warming. While methane gas contribute about 35% to the issue of the global warming. But by the time we have what we call engineered sanitary landfill, all these gases will be captured, right? So it will reduce the effects of the global warming, right? So you're looking at it in a way now. The government is working something for us to reduce the pollution load.
Okay.
And to also reduce the effect of global warming. Are you getting what I'm saying now?
Yes.
So people are saying, why don't we go back to the old way? We cannot. We must improve to ensure about the public health. We must protect the health of Lagosians. Are you getting what I'm saying
Absolutely.
now? That is why His Excellency took that decision that no, we cannot go on with all this type of the landfills we are operating in Lagos today. We must have what can control or what will reduce the health impact.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying now?
Yes.
So thirdly, the gentleman was talking about the issue of PSP.
Yes.
All those will be resolved in the next few days.
Okay.
Okay, the next few days, Mr.
Definitely,
Adebola
I'm
Shabi
giving
says.
you my word. In the next few days, you will see everything will be.
All right. Thank you very much for that. We can't take any more calls, but we can round up with one or two more messages. Up on Twitter, we have this from Nimot Muili, who says, please throw more light on the initial plan of Loma on recycling. You see, I'm not sure that this should only apply to organized estates, as there are existing stakeholders in this sector. What next, Honorable Bola Shabi? Because continuity is crucial. And then we also have Ayodeji Com expressing a lot of things we've heard already on the phone lines. In the past 3 months, PSP visited my area just once and we paid cash. Now, Loma brought their bill last week. Isn't that extortion? Paying for a service that's not being rendered? There's a flu in town now, and I strongly believe it's because of the filth everywhere.
Yeah. You see, part of the components of Cleaner Lagos initiative is recycling too. We're encouraging people in coming out to recycle. Everything you have can be recycled to other products.
Okay.
Look at your telephone sets now. We had a survey. We did a survey when I was in Lasepa 2014 to 16, right? That women change their phone every 6 months, while men change their phone 2 to 3 years. Why you don't use this telephone any longer? Where do they end up to? They end up in the garbage, right? When they end up in the garbage, so nobody makes use of all this any longer, right? But that's your telephone set. When you recycle and smelt about 1 million of that telephone set, you can bring out 25 kilograms of gold,
Okay.
150 kilograms of copper and silver, and 94 kilograms of palladium. Look at your laptop battery, right? Your laptop battery contains mercury, lithium, and cobalt. Mercury causes a lot of environmental problems. When percolating, it affects the underground water pollution and that. But that cobalt in there is even more expensive than the gold in the international market.
Okay.
Why are we wasteful in this country?
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Shabi, we want to thank you so much for spending time with us. Unfortunately, just like that, we've come to the end of this particular segment. Lagos, thank you very much for asking your questions, but do stick around, because even though we are switching lanes from waste management, we're going up to money, and I like that Mr. Shabi was talking about things worth something.
Exactly.
Things worth more than gold. We'll be talking about money management
management.
inside of Alat 101.